What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome here today to a reaction to a Athletic article, or from the Athletic, and it is Pistons trade possibilities. This is what it's called. Who says no in 8 potential deals for the #1 overall pick? Yes, and I saw one of the ideas, so it's a spoil. You can see Shay's on the screen on Twitter, and it was a full article, 8 potential ideas by James L. Edwards, who I believe is their Pistons reporter. So we're going to be reacting to these 8 trades. Do I like them? Do I not like them? And maybe can you go off them, or some of them are just dumb. I think one of them is pretty dumb. The one I saw on Twitter, it involves Shay. We'll get to that in a second. If you guys enjoyed these videos, drop a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you agree with, disagree with. I'll leave a link to the article in the description below. And shout out to James Edwards for writing these articles. Obviously, I've made videos about trade ideas, and like some of them do well, right? And some of them a lot of people agree with. But like the one I just did on the Warriors and 10 kind of realistic trades that they could make this offseason got a lot of not backlash, but kind of disagreements on some of my trade ideas. It is tough to come up with these. So shout out to James Edwards for doing this. So let's see the first one. It is involving the New Orleans Pelicans. And it is going to be the Pelicans are trading Brandon Ingram at number 10 for number 1. Honestly, and then also Corey Joseph, Mason Plumlee, Josh Jackson. Not a fan of this if I'm Detroit, just because Ingram, I mean, you get 10, so you can maybe add a Josh Giddey or Corey Kispert or James Bouknight or Moses Moody, somebody like that, right? But, I mean, you're going to get Cade Cunningham, who's going to sell tickets right away. He's going to bring people or put seats in the Little Caesars Palace Arena, and he's going to be under his rookie contract. And he's going to be good. We know Cade Cunningham's going to be good in the NBA. Will he be better than Brandon Ingram is? I don't know. Maybe. They're different positions. But I don't think I would really accept that if I were the Pistons. But if I'm the Pelicans, hell yeah. I'm putting Cade and Zion together. You'd still have a lot of cap space to maybe go after somebody this year or next year. Imagine you can go out and stuff like Bradley Beal next year. You have a big three of Zion, Bradley Beal, and Cade Cunningham. Oh, baby, that would be nice. And then you also have like Lonzo Ball in there. But yeah, I would do this if I were the Pelicans, not if I were the Detroit Pistons. So let's see. I don't think Detroit would do this. I agree. Next up, we have the Sacramento Kings offering Tyrese Halliburton, the number 9 overall pick, and their 2023 first-round pick for number 1 in the draft. Once again, I honestly don't love this for Sacramento because you're giving up just 9 in your 2023 first. Halliburton, who was pretty good last year. But does the Cade and Fox fit work? I don't know. Obviously, you just want to throw it together and see if it works out, like, because they're both great players. And if I'm the Pistons, it's a solid package, but Halliburton probably isn't that premier player I would want for number 1, right? Like, Ingram at least has been a proven all-star before. Halliburton may never get to that point in his career. He can just be a very good contributor on the offensive side, the defensive side, in transition. But will he ever be that guy that, okay, he's a top 2 scoring option and help your team go to the finals? I don't think so. So I would not do this if I were Detroit. And I would do this if I were Sacramento, but I don't think I would love it, you know? So, but I would still do it. Next up, we have the Orlando, or this, what did he say? All in all, the 3-level lottery picks would be a bad haul for number 1, but Cunningham's upside as a top 10 player in the NBA makes me believe the Pistons stay no to this deal. I agree. All right, next up, we have the Magic trading 5 and 8 and Wendell Carter for number 1, and they get off Mason Plumlee's contract. I don't really love Wendell Carter in Detroit. Doesn't really do a lot for me to really think it'll catapult his career to get that nice second contract. They do get 5 and 8, so they could add a Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga, or Kuminga and a Franz Wagner, which is solid, but I wouldn't do that for Cade. I prefer, say it's Kuminga and Wagner and Wendell Carter. I prefer Cade over those 3 players, so that is a quick and easy no from me. I don't think that the Pistons would do that trade. If I'm the Magic, hell yeah, I'm doing that trade, because that's basically a piece that you're getting from the Vucevic deal, which is 8. I'm giving up Kuminga for Cade 100%, and Wendell Carter Jr., who also got the Vucevic deal. Yeah, you basically move Nikola Vucevic and your first-round pick for number 1, and then you still get that 2023 first. Yeah, I would do this if I were Orlando. They would have so many guards with that are young: R.J. Hampton, Cole Anthony, Fultz, and Cade. So that would just be a lot going on there, but I would definitely do this if I were Orlando. Next up, we have, so this is going to be trade number 4. And he says, ultimately, I think the Pistons say no. Yeah, I want to see a trade where I think the Pistons will say yes to. Next up, we have the Warriors trading 7, 4, and Wiseman for number 1 in Mason Plumlee. Love this for the Warriors. I would do this in a heartbeat because I think it's fine giving up 7 and 14. I think it's fine trading basically Wiseman for Cade. And now you can Mason Plumlee, who could be a center for you. And I just like Cade long term, obviously. You will have to pay him a little bit more than you paid Wiseman. Not by much, though. And yeah, the upside value is there. He's kind of your franchise guy once Steph and Clay retire. I would do this if I were Golden State. If I am Detroit, I'm probably still saying no. Wiseman Wagner and James Bouknight really doesn't move the needle for me in a package that I would want the number 1 pick in Cade Cunningham. Wow, drew a blank there. But let's see what he says. Yeah, I believe the exceed of Wiseman, additionally 714, just doesn't move the needle enough, and he does think Detroit thinks about the deal, but doesn't see him doing it. I agree. Next up, we have the Thunder. This is the one I do not like. I would 1,000%. This is one that I would say, yeah, Detroit would do this trade. It's the Thunder trading pick 6 and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to the Pistons for the number 1 pick. Man, I think Shai should be closer to tier 1 from that draft than tier 2. He's not obviously as good as Trey and Luka, but he is right there. He's the number 3 player in that class, in my opinion. I would never do this trade if I were the Thunder, because I think Shai will possibly have a better career than Cade Cunningham. I would definitely do this if I were Detroit, because you could still have Scotty Barnes and Cade Cunningham in this draft. Or excuse me, yeah, no, it would be Scotty Barnes and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Makes you kind of good right away, right? So I think that Detroit would do this trade. I don't think OKC would or should do this. Even though Cade Cunningham is nice for their future, I would maybe think about Shai for one. Maybe if you think Cade is going to be the next Luka Doncic type player. But I'm not also giving up pick 6 as well. That's a lot. I would do this if I were Detroit, not OKC. He goes, now why would the Thunder do this deal? Good question, James. It doesn't seem like one they have two. OKC can build around Shai, and there are literally dozens of draft picks to grow their team, so why does he really do this trade? However, I think most scouts and execs would say that Cunningham has more upside than Shai. I mean, yes, but you already know Shai's going to be good. One if Cade, I don't know, becomes injury prone or really just doesn't translate well to the league. The odds of that are very low, but the odds are still there. We know Shai will be a star in this league after seeing him play for 3 seasons now, so I disagree with that trade a lot. I don't think that's a great offer. But I think, Detroit, yeah, that's the one that I think they would do. Raptors trading for an OG Anunoby for the Pistons for number 1. Mason Plumlee and Corey Joseph. You would only think about this if you're Detroit if you think Jalen Suggs is just as good as Cade Cunningham, because you can add Suggs and have OG Anunoby, who I like a lot. But yeah, he says, I don't see the Raptors having enough to entice Detroit to consider trading the number 1 overall pick unless Anunoby is involved. I mean, yeah, and then I'd probably want another first-round pick in this deal as well. But I think I would still say no if I were Detroit. I like Cade that much more than I like Suggs. That OG doesn't really move the needle. If I am Toronto, I don't think I like this trade. I mean, I obviously love Cade going there, but you're kind of gutting such an important piece of your team in Anunoby. So I'm not a huge fan of this trade for both teams, if we're being honest. Is this the final one, or we might have 2 more? But the Cavs are trading 3, a 2023 first, and Isaac Okoro for 1. So, hey, this is if you think Houston could take Mobley, or you even like Mobley a lot, and him or Jalen Green's going to be there at 3. You're getting a 2023 first-round pick as well from Cleveland, and Isaac Okoro. That's a good package in return. That is probably one of the better packages that maybe is a realistic offer. Wouldn't see that Thunder deal ever being on the table, but Cleveland might love Cade Cunningham and do this. But if I'm them, I'm maybe trying to keep Okoro and give up either Garland or Sexton, just because I don't really think you could play Sexton and Cade at the same time. I think it's kind of too much for only one ball there for those young guys. But I kind of do like this deal for Detroit, especially if they loved Evan Mobley or Jalen Green. And Cleveland, I think I would want to take out Okoro and add in either Garland or Sexton. And then I think this is the final trade with the Rockets, offering pick 2, the 23rd pick, and its own first-round pick in 2023 for number 1. That's only if Detroit really loved Mobley or Green and they're like, they can get him at 2 and then get these additional assets, which isn't a bad idea. But no, I think they're going to take Cade Cunningham at number 1 and they like him that much. So yeah, that is kind of the 8 trade ideas to come up with. What was your favorite one down below? I think most of them Detroit would say no, besides that OKC one, unless they weren't big fans of Cade. Or no, they're still big fans of Cade, but they're not too much indifferent between Cade, Green, and Mobley. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Drop a like if you did enjoy the video. I'll have a link to the article down below, also in the description. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.